Hey guys, this week's video is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do.
Gary and his wife Crystal have started a new business that's called Hightower Crafts. And Gary does this amazing woodwork, and Crystal's handling all the marketing and scheduling for them and getting their crafts out there and going to shows. And they're just doing great at it.
Yeah, and so they wanted to just kind of shoot a 2 to 3 minute commercial video, if you will, just to kind of help them launch this season for them. They're really ramping up this season, going to a lot of different craft shows. We actually shot this on 2 different weekends. We went over there one weekend and kind of shot all the behind the scenes part. And so we went and spent a whole day with him one weekend, just in his wood shop, on his mill out there where he was cutting the wood, and just got to see the behind the scenes of what it takes to make these cutting boards. I mean,
start to finish.
Yeah,
there's a lot involved.
There's a lot of steps involved, and so we kind of had to have some of that to make this video. So we decided, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do this over two different weekends. And so we went one weekend and kind of shot all the woodworking part, and then the next weekend we got all of our friends together. Gary, Kevin, and I, we've all been friends since the 3rd grade. And of course, Kimberly here is with my wife, and we go everywhere together, and she helps me shoot everything too. So, and then Gary's wife Crystal's obviously there. She helps him with the Hightower Crafts. And then Kevin's wife Kathy obviously was there. And then we even invited Gary's nephew Hayden over. They play a little bit of guitar, and kind of wanted to get him involved in it too. And we actually ended up using some of his music at the beginning of the actual commercial.
So basically, this video was a great way for us all to get together and eat some really good food.
Yeah, and just have a good time.
Have a really good time and listen to some really good music.
Yeah, we had planned actually to have a fire outside and play the guitars around the campfire. Unfortunately, it was a little bit colder and wetter than we
freezing.
Yeah, than we planned on. So we ended up, to Crystal's dismay, we ended up not getting to do the campfire outside like we really wanted to. She loves fires outside, and she was all on board for that. And then we ended up not getting to do it. We did start a fire, we just didn't get to go out and hang out around it.
A little too cold, a little too windy. So we're going to play the outtakes from the making of this video, guys. It's pretty silly, and we had such a great time just making all the videos and putting together what was needed to make this commercial for Gary and Crystal. And so you guys have a little bit of fun at our expense, because we were cutting up pretty good.
Yeah, so we're going to show you these few outtakes, and then followed right behind that, I'm going to actually show you the actual commercial part. So I hope you stick around for that. And then if you want to see a little bit of the music and playing, guys, stick around to the very end. I'm going to put that at the end of the video.
We do apologize, guys. We were all set up to do the playing and the videoing of the playing outside by the fire. And when it was too cold and too windy, we moved inside. The video is really, really dark, and so it does make it a little bit grainy, but we just couldn't miss getting all that recorded.
Gary and Hayden kind of actually went off in the living room while we was still in the kitchen cleaning up, cutting up in there, and started playing. And we didn't have any lights set up, so Kim just went in there and started shooting some, because we wanted to capture that. I just love hearing those guys play. Gary and Hayden actually does a pretty special song I put in here. Hope you check it out.
Yep, you don't want to miss it.
I know Gary and Hayden will appreciate it. They'll know the story behind it. But stick around a little bit after everything else, and check out some of the music. Again, apologize for the graininess of the video. I know it was dark. I know it's grainy. So please don't crucify me for it being grainy. I was shooting with a new camera that weekend too, and so that was a little bit of a curveball too. But the music was pretty cool, and I hope y'all enjoy it.
So we had a great time. We hope you guys do too.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. We'll go on another adventure.
See ya.
Cut your finger off and send it to make us funny some videos.
As long as I get part of the check, I don't care. Pay for my new finger. He needs to come hang out with his uncle more. I feed him good, cook him steaks, build him a fire, let him play the Martin. I mean, shoot.
Well, you got a fire going everywhere except for in the fireplace.
Because we're going to be outside. You're eating outside now. You didn't know that?
That's ain't in the car. Here, I can be the narrator.
His steak was.
Now let me ask you this. Are you gonna take a video of Gary cutting his steak up there?
Mm-hmm.
All I got to say is you better bring your steak in here. Cause I ain't waiting on you.
Dude, we're just gonna cut one little steak. He's gonna take a shot. That's it.
Feel the pressure. Everybody's waiting on me.
They are.
You starving everybody back in here eating everything else.
Yeah, this bread's fixing to disappear.
Y'all getting free steak.
Mm-hmm.
Chill.
I was gonna say,
You think the same way now.
hey, that's gonna be bad when you have a whole lot of steak left because they done filled up on everything else.
I wanted some wine glasses on the table, but I got to get them.
Let's just one.
Oh, no, you go there, Randall. Let's cut one, so I just did.
That's funny.
All you ladies out there, this is how a steak's supposed to be cooked.
Excuse me?
Rare.
Well, you sure are treading lightly.
So, what time did we change your clock?
You good?
This morning at 2.
We hope we get to eat before then.
I'm done. If Randall's done.
We're done.
I started Hightower Crafts about 2.5 years ago. So I started researching woods and what's the best wood to use for cutting boards, and found out that cherry and walnut and maple, and it seemed to be the best wood for cutting boards. So that's what I use. I don't use anything that's too soft. A lot of my wood, I purchase from local companies in town. I like to buy local and keep these guys in business. And then sometimes I get trees given to me, and I get to mill them up and cut them up myself. And when you do that, you got a lot of options of what you can do with the wood. And we always use quality wood and finish it to the best of my abilities to make a quality cutting board. Here at the shop, I use all the wood that can be used. I make a lot of different sizes of cutting boards. I got a lot of shapes that I cut out, and we end up with a lot of different things. Like this one here. This is 11-inch round cutting board. This is black walnut and maple that's just put together in a stripe pattern. Basically, this thing is made off of 12-inch pieces that I had to cut a bad knot out of or something like that, and I had 12 inches. We glue it together and cut out an 11-inch round cutting board. These cutting boards are pretty popular. I don't have scrap. I try to use everything in the shop, and when it gets to the point that I can't use it anymore, it's a pretty small piece of wood. I have others here with walnut and cherry, just different patterns, different things. This is another 11-inch round, and here's a solid maple. Now this stuff, when you put the finish on it, it really darkens up, and it's just a really pretty wood. And everything's sanded to a 400 grit. It's wet a couple of times along the sanding to get the wood grain to stand up, so it's when you get it, it's really, really smooth. Guess I wish I had a little more him. Way down Louisiana, close to New Orleans, back up